The population of Germany steadfastly and courageously pays for the usual level of consumption of the American average person. The economic crisis in the United States is successfully exported to the European Union. At the same time, there's more and more free space under the mattresses of burghers. According to a local publication, millions of people are forced to save money on food. 11% of the country's population can't afford a full meal. Germany's public debt has reached almost 2.4 trillion euros. I'm Andrei Sych, this is the screenshot. Let's get to the bottom of it. The colonial subordination of the European Union to the interests of the White House has reached its climax. The United States has decided to appoint its own person to the post of chief economist in the European Union's antitrust body. American Fiona Scott Morton has been lobbied for this position. In fact, this is an attempt to establish manual control over the decision-making center of the Eurozone. Washington is already openly demonstrating who is the boss of the House. At this rate, the inauguration of European presidents will soon take place in the backyard of the White House. We see that, of course, over the past decade they have brought up a whole pleiad of hipsters, politicians who do not have their own rigid opinion on the country's sovereignty. This was done via Soros funds, via tea parties, lectures, business trips to Brussels and Washington. Now they have grown up and come to power. The story of the gas pipeline bombing is a public humiliation not only of Scholz, but of Germany as well. You would imagine that their own have been deprived of cheap energy supplies. Many of the current ruling elites are on the corruption hook of Washington. As soon as Scholz remembers the national interest in his criminal case, new circumstances appear to reopen the investigation. The Chancellor of Germany is involved in the theft of tens of billions of euros of budget funds. That's why they have to send aid to Ukraine at the first call and at the same time cut payments to German families with 2 or more children. The budget of digitalization has been cut from 377 million euros to 3 and a bit. And the situation is almost all areas is similar. According to the World Bank data for 2022, Germany has fallen to the 6th line of the rating, giving way to Russia. A huge number of political decisions that were made, which directly or indirectly affected the German economy, were to the detriment of Germany, to the detriment of the German economy. German and in general European political elites are not nationally oriented elites, but elites are better to say servants of the world behind the scenes elite, acting clearly not in the interests of peoples and national states. Against the background of total failures in the economy and complete disappointment in their government, the once marginal party Alternative for Germany is rapidly gaining popularity among Germans. Its politicians' statements against the backdrop of the ruling coalition's mantras give hope to the middle class and are indeed becoming an alternative. The views of the AfD are reluctantly but already have to be reckoned with. At this rate, at the next election it will decide with whom to form a governing coalition, but as always there are nuances and a correction for Western democracy. They will try to stop it. We see how it is being done in the United States against the former president of the US. That is, absolutely all the tools are used without any cover, but openly, in order to stop their political opponents. I think that the experience that the Americans have will be in demand in Germany in order to change the situation. The crisis of the European elites is reflected in a spineless state policy, which leads to mass impoverishment of the middle class. Europe urgently needs strong, charismatic leaders.